Hi there, Cancer. It's Jen from Tarot Spirit. Actually, this is going to be Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. I accidentally stopped the other video, so I'm just going to break them up into 4 different videos, I think. We'll see. But this is Cancer for October 8th, 2017. And this week I'm using the Green Witch Tarot. You got that lovely Page of Cups. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Oh, yeah. So at the bottom of the deck, you have the Knight of Cups. So some sort of offering that will elicit a positive emotional response this week. Or perhaps it's you that may be making an offer, maybe asking someone out, maybe someone asking you out. We have the Page of Cups as well. So for those of you looking, and this would be a ripe week for mingling and getting out there and potentially meeting someone that you're very attracted to. So we have the Ace of Wands up there, but also someone that you have warm feelings towards, not just passion, but they seem kind and I can't think of the word. Just someone you're definitely have an emotional connection to. I feel like for some of you, it's been a long time since you've been in a relationship, or you've been very resistant to a relationship because maybe you've been hurt in the past, and maybe you're just like, I'm not really sure what type of person's going to make me happy, and maybe putting some of the responsibility, which is we should always take responsibility on yourself for really figuring out what you want in a relationship, instead of just sort of, oh, I think this person's cute and they seem interested, so why not? Instead of really taking the time to get to know the person before sort of just falling into a relationship with them. And I think it's been hard for you to figure out what is going to make you happy. And sometimes you don't know until you're actually, you don't really know. You don't know how a relationship, a job, anything's going to go till you're living it. Pretty much, it would be. But at the same time, if this is someone coming back that you've been in a relationship with that didn't work out, that went sour, well, you actually do know how it will work out, most likely. You know what I mean? Sure, some people get back together, but most people that you get back together a couple times and then it's over for good. So when you do have information about how it may go, listen to that. It's like when someone shows you who they are, believe them. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I know I have made, that people make, is we think we can change them, or we think in them is really this good person. I can see it in them. And it's like, no, she's just a jerk, or he's just selfish, or what. I mean, it's just like, that's how they are. That's why they're acting that way. Why else would they be acting that way if that wasn't who they are? And making decisions based on how people were in the past and are in the present, not how they could be in the future. So for some of you, it's going to be a very creative week, and whatever your creative outlet is. I love this card. So she's down there painting. It's being an artist and being creative is not solely in the realm of painting and singing and sculpting and what people would traditionally consider the arts. You can be creative in any area of your life. So don't think that if you're not a singer or a painter or a drawer, that you're not a creative person. In fact, I think that's something you need to stop telling yourself and tap into, because we have these two creative, very creative signs here. Like, whoops, like she has these flowers. You can be a creative gardener. You can be creative in business. And this is a true entrepreneur card. So if some of you, it's like, I think some of you want to open your own business, and the Seven of Cups, it's like you're having all these dreams and ideas, but you don't know quite how to make that a reality. Maybe you want to work for yourself. You're sick of working for the man. But it's like, oh, how do I bring these ideas to life? And you're getting the, I mean, this is the motivation. And she is a creative business person. She and the Queen of Pentacles are really good in business. So really figuring out, getting focused on what your idea is, but something sparking, like something in one of these cups, these ideas is resonating with you, and sort of getting separated from the pack for that you are realizing you want to work on. Whatever it is, it's like you want to move on to something new. You want either, this new relationship for coming in for those of you who are single, but this new creative business opportunity or hobby that could potentially be turned into a business. So I think if you're starting a hobby, in the back of your mind, be doing your research and think, okay, I want to treat this like a business, like something that can turn into a business. And if you go in that with that mindset, the intention is different, and I think you'll have more of an opportunity to be a success. But I do feel like there's something you're motivated to move away from. Not in this case, this is often moving from a bad situation to a good situation, but I feel like you're moving. It's less about being in a bad situation and more about moving to something that you're excited about. Could even be that you want to move. You may want to live by water. We have a couple cards, may have with water. It may have something to do with water. If you are a painter artist, maybe you do watercolors. There's a horse here. I mean, a lot of these cards have horses, but let's look at the overall cards. It will require decision so if you've been not able to figure out which way you want to go, hedging, like, I don't know, should I do this? Should I do that? Do I like this person? Do I not like this person? Should I move? Should I stay? I don't know what to, like, you don't know what to do. It's like the Two of Wands is like, yep, time to make a decision. You need to figure out where you're going to focus your energy. You're making this decision this week. It's like, okay, you know what? I know where I want. I'm excited about something and passionate about something. I picked one of those 7 cups, and I'm going to focus on it. So, and with the energy, so you have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Swords. So here's the motivation and creativity and passion and inspiration. And this is inspiration. And here's that business mind that cuts away all the dreamy, this is going to be amazing, I'm going to make $1 million, to let's get down to the nitty gritty, let's get to work and let's figure out exactly the bottom line and how we're going to make this happen. So these two energies together are they really work well. Fire and air work really well together. So I think any proposals you make, any ideas you start making a reality this week, really think of them like, I don't think they're just fleeting things. I think they're things that you can really make into something with long reaching, with potential to become like a business or a significant relationship or something like that. Okay, let's move on to Leo. Hi there, Leo. I'm using the Green Witch Tarot. So some of you may just be feeling sort of a little blah this week. Or maybe, or feeling like you're waiting around for something. And you're just kind of like, oh, I'm sick of waiting. Like, I want things to happen. I think some of you may be waiting on someone you're in a relationship with to, I don't know, maybe they like wanted to take a break, or they're not sure about taking the relationship to the next level. You got a bonus card. And yeah, there's like, you're just sort of, if you're going to feel maybe on some level, there's a whole lot of nothing going on. And so use this time wisely. Use this time to recharge, to meditate, to really do a reassessment. Like, okay, where am I? Where do I want to go? Where have I been? Am I on track? Daydream. Like, think about, use the time constructively. Like, relax, but say, okay, I have a chance to catch my breath. What do I want to happen in my life? So for some of you, I think you're going to have to make a decision this week, whether or not it's like something you committed to. There's usually a commitment involves two things, whether it's you and your employer, you and your significant other. It can be sort of anything that any situation where you've made a commitment to something. Now, the Seven of Pentacles says things are a process. So if you plant corn, it takes a certain amount of time for corn to grow, and you can't rush it. You can nurture it and make sure, it gets water and sun and nutrients, and pests don't get at it and everything. But if you're impatient and pissed that the corn hasn't grown in a week, well, that's not realistic. But if it's been 6 months, or even if it's been, a few months, and you don't even see the corn stalk coming out of the ground, well, then it probably rotted in the soil or something happened to it. So you sort of have to weigh. I think for a lot of you, it's going to be a relationship, but it could be maybe at work. They said, you talked about getting a raise, and it's like, okay, they sort of said they're going to try to do something for me, and I've asked a couple times, and here it is 3 months later. Okay, should you still wait, or should, that's the type of thought process happening. And it's like things are always changing, but something has changed. And so this card is about being centered and go with the flow, but I feel like you need to make a decision. You need to look at, like, am I still really committed to this relationship, this job? Are they committed to me? What choices is everyone in this situation making? Are they honoring their commitments, or are we kind of going our separate ways? Have I waited long enough? We've talked about moving in or getting married or becoming exclusive. Have I waited long enough? Am I being impatient, or have I waited too long? And is it time to move on and just see it for what it is, and stop wasting my time? And a lot of you, so if you wait too long, you could miss another opportunity. So figuring that out. And I do think that some of you are going to realize it's time to move on, wrapping something up in order to start something new. So this doesn't have to be negative. It can be like, it's time to move on. It's time for a new job, a new opportunity. So it can be very exciting. Like, I'm going to wrap this up and I'm going to move on to something new and see if this will be more fruitful. Or I'm being super impatient and I need to wait longer. But I think, again, a lot of you may be wrapping up one area in your life in order to start something new, which is exciting. But some of you, I think, are in denial about it, especially if it's a relationship, and are waiting too long, giving too much not knowing when to cut your losses or see the elephant in the room that, this, you're just waiting in the wings, and there's no real true commitment to move things forward from the other person. Yeah. Oh, I like this. I like your reading. So making a decision, are you going to keep putting energy into something that's not paying off, or you're going to put it in a different direction? And this says, yeah, put it in, figure out where you want to go. So again, stepping back, where that energy of where have I been? Where am I going? What do I want to do? And seeing where, okay, my path was here and I ended up over here. Okay, well, let's recalibrate, let's reset the GPS and get back going to where I want to go. Or maybe you want to go somewhere different, but instead of reacting to events or waiting for someone else, making things happen the way you want it. Just being in control, being in the driver's seat of your own life and not waiting around for other people. To make decisions in how your life's going to go. Beautiful. I love that. Okay, let's move on to Virgo. That was a nice, clean message. They don't always come out that clear. Like, I feel like Cancer's was kind of rambling and bad, but they all tell me. I'll get a comment. That's it. Virgo. Two of my best friends are Virgos. I think I always say that. And I would drive them crazy and vice versa if we lived together. Which is fine. Not everyone... And these are two of my very best friends, but hey, well, I mean, so that came up for some reason. Interesting. That came up, and here we have the Lovers card. It's like, be careful you're not trying to force something that just wasn't meant to be this week, and make commitments you truly are interested in keeping. So, for example, learn to say no when people ask you to do something. And I know it's hard because then they can run the risk of not asking you, but it's better to just be upfront and say no, no thank you, or, whatever. Don't over explain. Than saying, oh, yeah, and then always at the last minute saying no, because that will wear a person out and frustrate someone well above just saying, yeah, no, I have other plans, or I can't, or whatever the reason is. And if they're a really good friend, you can say, no, I just don't feel like it. I have a friend where, like, I love to do something, but, I never like to leave the house on the weekends. We're like, yeah, me either. Yeah, that's a true friend. So for some of you, it's weird that this comes up for a lot. I do feel for obviously this is going to be a small percentage, but I think some of you are going to find that someone, a situation, a person, a romantic relationship, a friendship is not honoring their commitments. And this could be very mundane, like you asking a friend to do something, they're not honest and say, no, I'm doing something else. And then you find them doing something different and just find that they're just not being honest with you. So that's the thing about not being honest. Yes, we all tell little white lies, but lots of times the truth is just, no, you don't have to tell your friend that you don't like their new haircut or something like that. But if you don't want to do something, saying, no, I'm just going to hang out at home today. Or actually, I think I'm going to do this or something, instead of lying about it. Because then if you get caught in the lie, then people are like, why did they lie to me about something so stupid or something so small? And then what else are they lying to me about? So just be cautious of that. But that may then again happen to you. So on the other hand, you can see how you can make these little white lies, so not to then overreact. But if it's blatant betrayal or cheating or something like that, that's not to be ignored. So that's for a small group of people. For some of you may find out you're pregnant, or a friend's pregnant. You may find out an ex, them or their significant other, is pregnant, and that might make you feel a little weird and jealous. But let it, feel it and let it go. You've moved on. That wasn't right for whatever reason, and in some ways, it doesn't have anything to do with you, and that's really hard. And I know it sounds like, oh, sure, easy for you to say, Jen, and I'm the first one to get a little to for it to go, ooh, that hurt. But it's like, okay, talk yourself through it. Why did it hurt? That relationship didn't last for a reason. Good for them. It really has nothing to do with me. I do feel for some of you, you're really going to be focused on. You're going to be very diligent and working very hard. Oh, you're our Virgo, so we have the Pentacles cards on. Um, I mean, maybe if it's fall here in the Northern Hemisphere, maybe you're going to be like canning stuff and like getting ready for winter and things like that. Um, Changing your health routine, something in your home. Maybe you want a new job. Maybe it was a job where you felt betrayed, like, oh, we're going to give you a raise, and you find someone else gets a raise, or you find out someone else who's been there less time makes more money. That's always a tough one that happened to me. But it's going to motivate you to make a positive change, to make a change where, again, you're not focusing on something that really doesn't concern you and is kind of none of your business, and saying, well, I'm going to be and using it to be like, I'm going to be fabulous myself, and I'm going to be creative, and I'm going to make my own reality what I want it to be. And not focusing on any negative and bitterness, but using it to fuel you and motivate you into doing your best and focusing on you and what you can do for yourself. And finding something that really feeds your soul. Like, I'm not going to, oh, I find out, an ex has moved on. I'm not going to sit down and eat myself, eat a whole pizza and a whole box of donuts and or whatever. It's like, I'm just going to be awesome on myself and open my Etsy shop and start creating things and start my own little online business and or something like that. Like, you're going, or I'm going to look fabulous, and I'm going to just really stick to my workout routine and eat healthy um, and keep the focus on me, because that's the only thing you can change. If someone's not honoring their commitments, there's really nothing you can do about it. You don't have to accept it or tolerate it, but you can't change them or fix them. So you want to channel that energy in a positive way, and focus on improving yourself and not focusing on other people. Yeah, there's someone behaving badly this week. So um she's just going to be like, okay, I see what you did, and I'm cutting that away, and I'm moving on. And I have my own life to give birth to beautiful creative things and create the life I want to live. I mean, she's giving birth to all the things she wants to manifest in her life. And she's like, I'm just going to cut those things. I'm going to cut those ties. And it's not in a nasty way. It's in a, hey, it's time for me to move on. I've got my own stuff to do and I can't control these other people. And I'm focusing and allowing my energy to go to other people's bad behavior is not in my best interest and is not going to serve me. So I'm going to be really smart about it and channel my energy into something super positive. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye.